Hey guys, Shane here, Fugatech 3D Printing. Today I'm going to show you a quick and easy print that you can make for Valentine's Day. So welcome back guys. Valentine's Day is just around the corner. I want to show you guys a quick and easy print that you can do. Quick is kind of relative. The print does take time depending on the scale you print at, but it is something you still have time to print. So let's get down to it and take a look at the parts. So you see before me here, I have an array of different things that I have printed. The first ones we'll go over here are vases. You can do vases for either the project I'm doing here or for actual flowers, depending on the printer you have. If you have something like NFT5, you can print a huge vase for actual flowers. It will be watertight. You can do it with one perimeter or multiple perimeters, and there are so many different vase mode prints on Thingiverse that you can look up. Just pretty much search vase and you'll get something. This is one I had found here. It's just a single spiral. It's really nice. Just do 4 bottom layers, and it is a one perimeter with and it is in vase mode, so it just continuously prints. It doesn't change the Z height. It does it during the each layer, so you don't have to worry about any of the blobs or anything like that on this type. Here I have a twisted heart, and this is in, this one was in Philibot Pet G Plus. This one is Total Plastics Pet G Red, and again, using a transparent filament really looks good for vases. You can do solids as well, but I personally think transparent looks much better, and this looks really good. Again, this is the twisted heart. Again, 4 bottoms, 1 perimeter on vase mode. This one is printed on my G-Tech. This one is printed on the FT5. Again, you can scale these up to whatever size would fit your need. Last one here is just a really small 100mm one, and this is good for if you're doing a single flower. So depending on if you're going to do something like this, or if you just had bought a single rose, it would just fit in there really nice. Just one by itself. Can't beat that. Okay, next up here we're going to talk about the flowers. Now, if you just search flowers, actually on the front page of Thingiverse, there is a section just for flowers right now, and you can hop on there and print any kind you want, whatever your loved one prefers, color, type. I'm sure you can find it on there. I had just picked roses. I really liked the way these ones were created, and I like the way they look, so these are the ones that I went with. This print comes in 2 parts, so you obviously have your stem, which you can print in any color green. It prints as 1 part. And I did these all with a 10% infill. Now keep in mind, with a 10% infill, this well, it's lower here, but the upper part of the shaft is actually hollow, because with the 10% infill, depending on where this is situated on your build plate, it might not have a trace going across it in that 10%, because it's going the 10% off of the base, not 10% off of this small diameter here. So you have to keep that in mind when you do certain prints, that you might actually have any infill in there even though you said you wanted some. So keep that in mind. But I printed out several of these, and then I printed out several here of the roses. These are what took the longest amount of time. These were 11 hours each. These were printed at, what did I have it set at 65 millimeters per second, only because I wanted to be sure that I didn't do any screw ups on this, because they took about 30 meters of filament to do one of these, but because there are so many retractions going on here, each of these petals is separate from the actual base. So it does, I'd say, probably about 15 layers, and then all of a sudden it starts sending out each of the petals. So you really have to keep that in mind when you're printing this. It's going to take a long time. Your retraction settings must be on par. If they're not, this is really going to look like crap. So keep that in mind with a lot of these flowers, just simply because of printing each individual petal. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 petals just on one of these flowers. So that's a lot. And I printed this in a red and a blue. I wanted to do a violet, you know, roses are red, violets are blue, but I didn't find a violet in time to get these prints done for this video. So maybe another time I can do that. Now I printed these in a PLA, and the vases are all printed in a Pet G of sorts from different companies. A lot of people said they had printed the flowers in an ABS, more for long lasting. They'll be a little bit more stronger, a little less prone to breaking. I did PLA because honestly I don't print in ABS at all. I do have a few rolls, but I haven't really tested much of it yet, and since I only just enclosed the FT5, I haven't gotten into it much yet. So PLA and Pet G are pretty much my go-to filaments, and again, I had it on hand, so that's what I used. So with a ABS, you can get a little bit of ABS slurry, put it on the bottom, stick these together, and it will stick right away. So for doing PLA, you have multiple options. You can do regular super glue or CA glue, as some call it. You also can do like a heating method, which is called like plastic welding. And that's just to heat one of these surfaces until it's shiny, take your other piece, slap it right on there, and you have a binding weld right there. You could do both sides, but it's really not necessary because of the creases and the pores, we'll call it, in each of the side of the print. It's going to smush in there together, and it will be really, really strong, so you don't have anything to worry about that. But I'm going to glue these together, and we'll take a look at them. Got my Loctite super glue here. Gonna take one of these, put a little bit on it. You don't need too much because it will stick really well, really quick. At least it should, depending on your tolerances. You might need to sand these down depending on your first layer settings. If you did have a little bit of elephant's foot or a little bit of ridging on them, they're not going to be flat against each other. So you're going to want to take these and rub it on some type of sandpaper just to flatten it out. That is actually my case. So I just have a piece of 100 grit. I'm just going to take this, slide it along to get nice and flat. This one actually feels really flat. Some of them are flatter than others. And we'll use blue, and blue actually feels really flat as well. This also will help. This also helps with the actual binding of the glue. And that's actually pretty good right there. And that's good there. So now we can put some glue on this, see how it sticks. Oh, I can feel that right there. So if you don't line it up now, you're never going to be able to line it up again. So make sure you get that spot on, and that's already held in there. Really nice. The other thing I didn't realize until after I'd printed these, so they were both printed with 10% infill, but the rose is actually super, super heavy. Probably should have printed the stem at 50 or 100%, just in order to counterbalance the weight a little bit. These are going to be super top heavy inside of one of these vases, so just be aware of that. So there's one done. Two done. And number 3. Okay, again with picking your vase, again if you just want to do one and a single one here, that's fine. That is actually not a single perimeter vase, so it is much, much heavier than any of these. So it is a very easy counterbalance to one of these roses. These other two, not so much. One by itself could pull it over very easily, which actually it does in this one. So you have to put at least 2 in there to counter each other. The more, the better. There are some huge vases on there, and I've seen some of the makes for these roses. People put like a dozen in there. That's a lot of print time. That's a lot of filament. So if you want to go ahead and do that, you can. I think he also extended out the stems so that they would be a little bit taller, almost like a 12-inch rose, which is what you would buy, in the States. And let's check it on here with our twisted heart. So we can do that, and see that's a little bit off there. So with 3 it holds up, but with 2 not so much. So again, this is a nice and easy print that you can do, and you have just enough time before Valentine's Day to get it done. Well, thanks for watching, guys. If you liked this video, please give it a like. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. Let me know why down below. I'd love to hear from you. If you want to help out the channel, do that lots of ways. Right here, you can subscribe to my channel. There's a bell icon down below, so that way you get an email anytime I upload, and you'll be notified. And you'll be one of the first ones to see any of the new content like this video right here. Up here is Patreon. You can donate your $1 or more. I greatly appreciate it. My current Patreons, thank you very much for your support. Down below, there's several affiliate links, MakerBox, Amazon, eBay, MakerGeeks, all kinds of different ones. Update your bookmark, use those. All the proceeds come in here to my channel. They help me build content and buy things for the channel. I do not use any of that for personal use whatsoever. So happy Valentine's Day, and as always, happy printing.